All right, welcome. If you're following along, this is lesson 13. Lucky 13. Today we are dealing with chord symbols. Now, if you think back to lesson 11, that was when we introduced the G7 chord with your pinky moving down to B for the left hand. Lesson 12 dealt with the G7 chord, thumb moving down to B, and lesson 12 for the right hand. So you had both hands doing that. So today we're going to learn how to read the chord symbols and use those symbols to make us play those chords. So if you look at page 38, practice changing from the G, C chord to the G7. Well, hopefully you've done that. So it says chord symbols. In popular music, chord symbols are used to identify chord names. The symbol for the C major chord is C. The symbol for the G7 chord is G7. Write the chord symbols C or G7 in the boxes below. Notice that the new symbol is only used when the chord changes. Play and say the chord names. So it says up top here, the construction of seventh chords will be more fully explained later. For now, just remember that the G7 chord is made by playing B, F, and G. And notice they spelled that from the bottom up, B, F, G. And the comment they made in number 2 under chord symbols about noticing that the new symbol is only used when the chord changes. What they mean by that is you have a C chord here. So you're going to write a C in the box above it. The very next chord is identical, note for note. It's a C chord again, but it's redundant to write C again. Plus, it's a lot for us to take in as you're reading the chords. Because when you get a lead sheet, that's typically melody and chord symbols, not left-hand chords for you to play. Your left hand has to look at the chord symbols and play the chords that are symboled by the letters that accompanies the melody. So you don't want to try and read that every single beat of every measure. They only give you a chord symbol above the music when the chord changes. So you have C, and you're going to mark a C in that box above it. The next one is a C, but it's still under that first box. Well, next it changes. That's our G7, B, F, and G. So you make a G, you write G7, and you have to have the number 7. It is very important that it is a G7. The fourth beat in that first measure is a G7 again, but it's repeating, so you don't have to rewrite the G. Beat 1 of measure 2 is a C chord, so you're just going to make a C in that box. And you continue on through the rest of this. So pause it, and I will give you the answers, and play it when you unpause. Alright, moving on, we have the C here is covered already by that box. That's a G7, that's a C, that's still covered under C, that's a G7, that whole measure. That's a C, so you write the 1 box. That's a G7, that's covered. C, boom. All right, let's play it. I'm going to start counting these off by saying 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to start playing, and I'm going to play the quarter notes at that tempo, whatever I count. And this is also so if you want to try and play along, you can play along with me. So, the first exercise under page 38. 1, 2, 3, 4. hopefully you played along. You'll notice I was counting 2, 3, 4 here for these 3 beats of rest in these measures of that song. You have to make sure the proper amount of space goes by. You stay in time. Alright, moving on. When notes on the same line or space are joined with a curved line, they are called tied notes. We went over that in lesson 11. That's right. Learn tied notes in lesson 11. So looking at the bottom of page 38 here, it says write the chord symbols in the boxes. So go ahead and pause it and practice. Pause it, fill out the boxes, practice the song. There is a repeat sign. When you unpause, I will play it for you. Alright, the answers are C, G7, C. So I'm going to play it a little faster than the last one we did. 1, 2, 3, 4. You got to count all the measures, so you have to include all those rests at the end. We aren't done. You can't just get up, right? You got to wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whole thing. All right, so that is chord symbols for your left hand. Now, page 39 is the chord symbols for your right. Same that you did with the left, you're going to do with the right, because you can use chord symbols and play with your left hand or your right hand, depending on what you're doing, what song, who's playing the melody. There's a lot of variables. But lesson 12, we did this. So here in 13, we're going to do this again. But now we're going to have chord symbols to go with it. So, filling this out, just like the stuff with the left hand, the chord symbol does not get repeated. And it continues, even over bar lines. You'll notice you write a C above this one, but then you have these rests and there's a bar line. So this is a new measure. But they didn't write C again because it's still covered by that one. Oh, it's C until you see something different. Alright, so pause it and fill this out, practice it. There's a repeat sign, and go. Alright. So the answers are C, G7, C, G7, C, G7, C, G7, C. All right, I'll play it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, now the song at the bottom of page 39 is giving you chord symbols for left and right hand. So take a look at that. Notice that the note values are changing, the chords are changing in different parts, so pay close attention. Mezzo forte for both hands, repeat sign, so pause it and fill out the answers, and I will give the answers momentarily. Alright, starting here, C, G7, C, G7, C, G7, C, G7, C. Alright, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. All right, let's do that one again. I'll do it a little bit slower. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. All right. So that is page 39. lesson 13. If you have any questions, let me know. That's chord symbols for the left hand and right hand. C, G7, C, G7. Just do this. All right. Page 38. Page 39.